Hey YouTube, Dan Ottawa here, coming at you with a new series that just kind of came up because someone asked in the comments, like, can you go and play PVPoke's top performing team? I forget what number it was, like 10 or something. So I'm like, that would actually be a pretty fun series because for those of you who don't know, PVPoke puts out top performers. So what you do is you go to the tab up here, hit top performers. It'll give you a great league. It'll go, so top performers, so average performance for individual Pokemon and moveset used in PVPoke training battles. So it's just sort of like training simulation. That has a sample from both players and bots in the elite and championship difficulties. So that just kind of just shows like how they do these calculations for individuals. So like Typhine is number one, which is somewhat surprising. But like that, like Registeel, and you have like usage is pretty high. You can see it right there. And then other Pokemon as you work your way down. And then what they do is they have down at the bottom, they have teams. So average performance for teams used in PvPoke training battles, that is sampled from both players and bots, right? So for example, right now, the number one team is Altaria, Registeel, Scrafty, and I'm wondering, I hope this works. So that'll put it into this, and you can see the simulation, AACB, and then sort of coverage. Just looking at the team, it's not a bad team, right? It's a bit weird. So, and this is what I'm talking. So this is why I was actually think this was a good idea, because it's a bit weird of a team right off the bat, because I'm like, Altaria and Scrafty are both weak to Charm, right? And you have Altaria in the lead, so it's a weird like ABA style team. So if you have like a Ninetales lead, like what do? You can't really go anywhere. But like otherwise, other than that, other than Charm, just like double weakness there, like overall it's balanced, right? Scrafty's gonna be weak to sort of flying, and I mean Charm, I mentioned that, and then Registeel will wall the Charm, and then Registeel will be weak to like ground, and Altaria walls that. So like in practice, that team theoretically works. So I was like, yeah, I'll try some. So what happens? I actually did a bunch of these battles, and then the teams switched up on me. So that was unfortunate. But if I go down here, so I'll showcase a couple of these other teams later. This Mew Surfetch Skarmory one, I really liked when I used it. Like I really like this one. It was the fourth one there, and I used this one. But for today, we are going with Shadow. It's not Shadowback. This is actually just a victreebell, but I use Shadow. Bastiodon and Sableye. And the concept is a pretty forward. So like when you look at PvPoke rankings, something people think you have to get like straight A's across the board. Like you don't. Um, so if you look at this, like Vic has like a lot of losses, but for those of you who've used Shadow Vic, you know what it does, right? You'll just like dominate. And then Bastiodon, same thing. Like so if I'm looking at this team, I'm like, on paper this isn't an amazing team. In practice, it was an okay team. So for being one of the top ranked, like how it works is like, again, you're weak to flyer with the Shadow Vic, you Sableye safe swap, and your Bastiodon is your wall there. Same thing. Bastiodon will be weak to like your Swampert and stuff. Shadow Vic will take care of that. Bastiodon super tanky, Sableye super safe swap, and Shadow Vic will just eat into your opponents if they don't have like something that resists it, right? So that's pretty much how the team works. Let's take a look at some battles just to see how this team works in practice here. So Sableye lead. So Shadowfic is one of those that I'm probably how to use this team. I'm really not leaving unless I see something that will just absolutely wall me, right? Like a flyer or steel, a pure steel. So in these neutral matchups, I will stay in. And this is where Shadowfic is, you're almost always gonna have to go down a shield if you're playing a team like this, right? Because Shadowfic is just so glassy. Even like these Shadow Claws put me here, and they're already at Foul Play. Foul Play will easily take me out, so you need to shield. So I will shield, thinking that I can now probably just take this out before they take me out. So I'm loaded with energy. I got switch advantage. So out comes a pure steel, and I need to bail. The problem with this team, as you can see, the second issue, almost right off the bat, is you have a huge issue with Registeel on the front end and the back end, right? So Bastiodon's going to just get eaten up by the Focus Blast, and Shadow Vic is just kind of not walled, but it's pretty walled. But I actually have no moves to throw at it. So I came into Sableye. I got to hope that they actually stay in and I can do some chip damage, because I don't really have a move except if I get to a Flamethrower on my Bastiodon. So right off the bat, like, if you want to run a team like this, I honestly think that, like, I know Bastion is like the super wall to it because it's like half rock as well. So you're really walling the flyers. But like if you want to use a Registeel or Galarian Stunfisk, I wouldn't hate that in its place, just to give you a little more options. So, but they are staying in here, so I'm gonna hit them with the foul play again. I'm just trying to do any sort of chip damage I can. This is gonna hurt. It's not gonna take me out. It's gonna put me pretty low. And now, if they really want to, I think they can commit to the super full farm down, but they end up catching on the Azu. So that's a really nice catch. Um, so I noticed that my switch clock is coming up a bit. I'm not gonna be able to get out before I get taken out here. So I'm like, all right, let's just get this return off to do some chip damage. And now it comes down to what do I want to do here? So that chip damage is okay. And I'm like, okay, well, I only really have one win condition. One, hope they don't have a hydro pump. Except they have a hydro pump, I'm in trouble. They don't. So they have no real move to throw at me. And then my only win condition with this one was I really only have one move that I can throw at the Registeel, and that's a flamethrower. So I need to get to like as many as like 100 energy. So they do have a hydro pump. Why did they not throw the first time? Anyways, they come in Registeel. I've got a ton of energy, which is good because I'm going to need every bit of it. They shield up the first one. Can I get to a second one? I can. They CMP me, so I've got to shield this. At this point, you're done with this because you're not going to outpace and the smackdowns aren't doing anything. So you need to switch into your Vic, and Vic, even though Steel is resisting this, Shadow Vic still hits like a truck. So goodbye. And I'm able to farm down there because Razor Leaf is just going to shred a water. So Altaria is a terrible matchup. It's a flyer and dragon. So I come Sableye, just safe swap. But the problem is if you're running Altaria on the lead, I've had this with my Ninetales lead too. If you come with your Sableye, it's still a losing matchup. So they're going to beat you here. And now they come in Azu. So I'm down a shield because I have the shield because they have the Moonblast too. And now I'm going to get hit with an Azu that definitely has a Moonblast. Not definitely, but probably, or not Moonblast, Play Rough. So it's probably going to have Play Rough here. At this point, I'm in Ice Beam range too, pretty much. So goodbye. Just got to let it go. Come in, Vic. Should have let the Switch Clock go a little more. I think they're going to get to an Ice Beam, though. That's the only problem. And I'm like, an Ice Beam's probably going to one-shot me. But at this point, I don't think I can let this live. So it's just a Play Rough, so that's good. Survive, because I'm like, no point of letting it live if Altaria's in the back. Or if Altaria's on the lead, I need to switch out anyways, right? I need to kind of hope Bastiodon can sweep whatever in the back. But if you have an Altaria lead, you definitely have an answer for Bastiodon in the back. Counter user here. There is not much I can do. Doesn't matter even if it has just Rock Slide and Psycho Boost. They are going to severely just outpace me. If they have Thunderbolt, it's even worse. So I got a shield in case they do. Because I wall Altaria. But the problem is I don't even think I can get to it. They have a shield and the counters are going to out. Yeah, so this game's over. So that's kind of a rough, it's rough when you see a flyer in the lead because the flyers will for sure, if paired properly, have something to beat Bastiodon in the back, right? So if you're going to run this balance need, that's just kind of the issues that you're going to see. Shadowvik against Nidoqueen. Is this one I bail when I shouldn't have bailed? No, okay, I stay in this one. Good. Because I remember playing one of these matchups, and I'm like, poison, I got to bail. But I'm like, no, it's half ground, so it takes neutral. So definitely just stay in this matchup. Shield, because you got to shield everything, pretty much. And hope I can now outpace it, even though they're going to lower mine too. Can I just take it out before they take me out? Barely. What's going to come in? A Metachamp. So I'm like, okay, that's good. I will keep switch advantage. I got like a hair on this thing. Okay, sorry. So I'm like, okay, I'll get a shield here. One move in, that's fine. Keep alignment here, which is huge, and keep alignment here, which is even better. So goodbye, this game's over. So that's what happens when you get decent alignment. And again, not the same matchup here, but this is not looking good. Swampert comes in. So I've got to try and take switch here. There's no option. One Hydro will not take me out. But the problem is, I think I'm in Mudshot range now. Is this the one that Mudshots me down? The problem is you're going to get outpaced to 2 Hydras, right? So you're going to have to shield one. Well, you'll live one. You'll have to shield one anyways. But they're going to get to a third Hydra before you get to a third foul play. So I think they shield to keep switch advantage. But like I wasn't going to get to another foul play even if I did. They're loaded with energy, but hopefully one Vic coming in will just take this out before they get to a move. I have to let this go. Again, my only win condition is Bastiodon in the back. Hopefully it can take out. Hopefully this is their only answer. Altaria, it is not their only answer. Game over. And again, like there's not... if you see a flyer on the lead, you're in trouble with this team because they definitely have an answer to Bastiodon in the back. And this is why I would rather go with like a Galarian Stunfisk or Registeel in the back instead of Bastiodon because you actually have somewhat of coverage, right? So if I was going to edit this top ranked team, I would edit it that way. So counter user that also knows Psycho Boost here. Definitely got a shield. Hope it is the Psycho Boost actually, so they bail and then you get switch advantage. And they're not bailing. So what I'm thinking is they think that they can get a second Psycho Boost off and take me out because I'm a Shadow and Psycho Boost is Psychic, so that's probably going to take me out anyways because I'm super glassy. So I tried to catch and I caught right into a Charmer. So that's unfortunate, which again, that's actually poor. I don't know if it's going to affect me in the ending, but that's actually very poor thought process because if you if they have a Deox on the lead, they definitely have a counter for Deox in the back. So it is a hard counter, but look at that. Sableye does not care. Keep switch, although switch doesn't matter. Well, I guess it matters a little bit here because I don't want my Bastiodon on there. And it's a Walrein in the back, so that is good because now I can align my Bastiodon here. I'm going to let the switch clock go up a bit so I don't have to maybe get switch locked against the... What am I doing? Forcing them to... What am I doing here? Unless my thought process is take this out as much as I can, knowing that the Deox won't have a move to throw, and then I catch an Icicle Spear. I think my thought process at the time is Deox will not have a move to throw. Oh, Deox is so low. That's why. Okay, it's so low, and even if it has a move, it's going to need like multiple counters and Thunderbolts, right? So there's your advantage. And again, why I like Registeel. I mean, I don't have Registeel built, and I refuse to build one until I find out if they're how much they're nerfing it, not if how much. Um, like Galarian Stunfisk, on my opinion, would be better. Like you don't do as well against the Flyers, but honestly, I will take that loss against the Flyers. But it's not just loss against Flyers because you do well against um, Trevenant. You would do well against. I mean, Walrein, you're okay in the other one as well. Just the extra bulk really helps in the rock typing. But Galarian Stunfisk just have like more options if you do face like a Registeel or you do face a mirror match Galarian Stunfisk that you would otherwise just get walled there. So that is how I use the team. That's a team. I'm gonna do a few of these because I put together a few of these battles are like team battles already. So look out for those. But the new season is fast approaching. I don't even know when I'm gonna post this. Ideally, I'm posting this Tuesday, but they're gonna drop the news probably. My guess is they probably dropped it yesterday. Because my guess, this is past Dan, Thursday Dan, predicting the future, is that this GoFest wrap up event is Saturday. So it's unlikely that they'll just drop the news on Sunday. So a Monday drop is pretty likely for like a Thursday turnover. So if the news has come out, I may push this one till Wednesday or something. So, but that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope if you like these, let me know. We'll keep going with the team building series and these, and then everything else that hopefully help you guys push towards legend on your run. So there's it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.